There's a secret to making a woman want you sexually, and it's something that works instantly. But if you don't have this secret, if you don't know what I'm about to tell you now, what will usually happen if you interact with a woman that you find attractive is that you will default into just having a neutral type of interaction with her, or you may just have a nice interaction with her, and you'll miss out on the opportunity to make her feel sexually attracted and turned on by you. Because the thing is, a woman doesn't have to do anything to make a man feel turned on other than look the way that she does. For example, many guys who watch this video will be able to look at the woman's butt here in the photo and just see a bit of her legs and arm and hand and say yes to having sex with her. It doesn't matter what sort of person she is. If she looks good, okay, it's a yes. Additionally, a man could see this photo and say yes, okay, I'll have sex with her, no problem. She doesn't have to do anything. It's just an automatic reaction of attraction based on how she looks. Yet, it doesn't work the same way for men. And this is the way that it has always been. Men have always been able to look at women and instantly say yes. It's what happened in the past, and it's what happens today. It's the same. Likewise, in a bar environment, it has always been that a man has to be able to say or do something to make the woman feel attracted. She doesn't have to do anything. And although a woman can feel attracted to a very handsome man, in almost all cases, she's not going to do anything about it. Instead, a man has to be able to say or do something to make a woman feel sexually attracted and then shoot his shot. So the secret is that rather than a man being passive like a woman and just expecting sexual attraction to happen because of how he looks and then expecting her to do something about it, he needs to be able to actively say or do something to create a sexual spark inside of a woman and make her desire him sexually. And here's the thing. A lot of guys assume that women are just going to react to them in the same way that they react to women, and it's just going to be on right away. And that can happen sometimes if a guy gets lucky, but it's almost always with the type of women that he's not that physically attracted to. If you want a woman that you're physically attracted to feel sexually attracted to you and want you sexually, you almost always need to actively attract her first. You need to do something as you talk to her to create a spark of sexual attraction inside of her. If a guy doesn't do that, then in almost all cases, a woman will just look at him as yet another guy who would happily have sex with her if she opened up to it. Right? And he may have sex with her once, twice, or even for a couple of months, or even keep her as a girlfriend for a couple of years. But he's not going to stay with her, and she's not going to enjoy it because she's not feeling attracted to him. And a guy may ask at this point, why isn't she feeling attracted to him? Because that guy looks good. What's going on? Well, women can feel attracted to a man's physical appearance, but they place more importance on your emotional attractiveness, and what that means is essentially how you make her feel. When you're interacting with her, how is what you're saying and how you're behaving making her feel? This is what so many guys overlook when it comes to women, which is why it's so easy for guys who learn how to attract women and start actively attracting women. They go up to women and the woman's face lights up, she's excited, she's attracted, she's happy, and then he gets a result with her. And other guys look on and think, well, hang on a second, why did she get with him? He doesn't seem to be good looking. He doesn't seem to be ripped or anything like that. He doesn't seem to have big muscles. What's going on? Well, it's very simple. The guy actively made her feel attracted. He created a spark of attraction inside of her. He made that happen based on how he was interacting with her and based on what he was saying. So here are a couple of examples, right? A woman compliments a man on his shirt, and he replies with, thanks, I got it at, and then the name of the store. Now that's a polite answer, and most of us are taught when we're growing up, if someone gives you a compliment, what do? You say thanks. I've got good manners. She said I've got a nice shirt. Thanks. And the guy just says that. And it's just neutral and nice. He's not creating a spark of attraction inside of the woman. But a guy who understands how to make a woman feel attracted will know that he can playfully challenge the woman, or he can flirt about going on a date with her, or he can flirt about him and her doing something together, and that's actually going to change the interaction from just being friendly and neutral or nice to being flirtatious and having a bit of sexual energy, or even showing her that it may not just be about having a neutral conversation with each other and getting along. There may actually be the possibility of having sex with each other or having a relationship. So if the woman compliments him on his shirt, he will say something like this: you've got good taste. I might have to take you shopping with me sometime. And that's a very light example of playfully flirting about going on a date together. But he could also say this: thanks. So what else do you like about me? And then he's playfully challenging her in the moment and showing that he's confident in himself, But he's not being arrogant about it and saying, yeah, thanks, what else do you like about me? And being over the top about it. He's just being charming about it. Thanks. So what else do you like about me? And the woman is then going to laugh, and she's going to see that, okay, he's not just being a good boy of, she gives him a compliment and he says, oh, thanks. And he's thinking, all right, great. She gave me a compliment. Now maybe I'm going to be able to get somewhere. Instead, he has the presence of mind and awareness and understanding that a woman needs to be able to feel emotionally attracted to a man. And the way to do that is to display traits and behaviors that are sexually and romantically attractive to women. So if a guy is being a bit charming and confident, or if he's being confident and funny, or if he's being confident and flirtatious, or if he's being confident and assertive, anything like that, there are so many different traits and behaviors that you can display. The woman is going to feel attracted, and he's actively creating that rather than just being a neutral guy and saying thanks. And then there's just nothing there. Another example is if a woman says, you have nice lips, and most guys will respond with, oh, thanks. And they'll be thinking, okay, cool, now she likes me, sort of thing. But a guy who understands attraction will say something like this. So what you're saying is that you want to kiss me. And he is then playfully interpreting what she is saying as being that, when in fact he really is accurate in saying that, because if she's pointing out that he has nice lips, then she's looking at his lips and she's feeling attracted to them, and she's going to be imagining kissing him. So what you're saying is that you want to kiss me. You're quite forward. I like it. And the woman is then obviously going to laugh, and in many cases she's going to say, no, that's not what I meant, or she may just try to laugh it off and so forth, but she will feel attracted to the fact that he's able to flirt with her, he's able to playfully challenge her, he's able to be confident in that moment and create some sexual tension between him and her, rather than just saying, oh, thanks. Or, oh yeah, thanks, I got them from my mother, or, oh, thanks, yeah, I have my father to thank for that. And just neutral and good boy, I'm just going to be nice and just accept her compliment the way I was taught when I was growing up, right? If someone gives you a compliment, thank you. And so forth. He's just continuing on with what he learned when he was a kid. But when you're interacting with women, there has to be some flirting back and forth. You've got to be able to create sexual tension, sexual arousal. It's not about just getting along with women. Now, that said, you don't have to turn everything that a woman says into something that is flirtatious or funny or anything like that, but you do need to be able to do that. A woman doesn't need to be able to do it. She doesn't need to say something funny. She doesn't need to say something flirtatious. She just needs to stand there, be nice, say yes, and let's go home. Or come here, let's kiss, let's get it on. The guy doesn't need anything, right? If she's nice and friendly, great, that's a bonus. But for many guys, if a woman is physically attractive and she's a little bit distant or plays hard to get, he may not want to have a relationship with her, but what'll he say? I'd still bang her. I'd still tap that. I'd still do her. I'd do her once, and so forth. Guys will say those sort of things. It's very simple for men. She looks good, yes. She doesn't look good, no. And that confuses a lot of men who look good. Right? They'll come to me and say, hey Dan, I've been working out, I look good, people say I look handsome, they say I should have been a model and so forth, but I'm still single, or I'm a virgin, or I've only ever been with women who aren't physically attractive. What's going on? And the thing is, he most likely looks good, and that's great, but for most women, they place most importance on how you make them feel when you're interacting with them, and that's emotional attraction, not on, okay, he looks good, then let's have sex. Some women are definitely like that. They're all about the physical. He's handsome, I want to have sex with him. She goes over and starts talking to him. She throws herself at him and so forth. But with the absolute majority of women that you meet, you have an opportunity with them. If you interact with her and you create feelings of sexual attraction inside of her, she will feel sexually attracted to you, and it will work right away. You don't have to put in loads of effort trying to get to know her, taking her out on all these dates. I'm going to freaking impress her by getting her flowers, taking her to the best restaurant, wearing the best clothes and so forth. You can make her feel sexually attracted to you right now. This is something that guys who are naturally good with women just do, right? They just interact with a woman and it's on. Whereas pretty much every other guy thinks, oh, well, I've got to look really good and I've got to do lots of work to hopefully impress her, and then I'll be able to get a chance with her, even though he could make her feel sexually attracted right now if he just focused on displaying the traits that make a woman feel sexually attracted. And one of those traits is what I call playfully challenging humor. And this is where you don't just say a joke or try to be funny or anything like that. Instead, you playfully challenge the woman. And that makes her feel attracted because you have the confidence, social intelligence, and courage to do that. It's not about trying to be Mr. Funny and tell lots of jokes or anything like that. Instead, it's about playfully challenging the woman. Most guys who interact with women that they find attractive don't have the courage to do that. They don't want to risk saying something that might be a bit challenging for her because they assume that it will make her not like them. But women are attracted to traits such as confidence, social intelligence, and courage. There's also another trait that I call emotional masculinity, and that is essentially about your emotional state being masculine and strong, even when in pressured situations, such as talking to a woman that you find attractive. Nothing about the situation or what she says or does throws you off. You are 100% strong and in control emotionally because you are emotionally masculine. When a guy lacks emotional masculinity, he won't feel like he's in control around a woman that he finds attractive. She will essentially be too much for him, and she will notice that based on how tense, awkward, nervous, insecure, or unsure of himself he feels around her, and that will turn her off. Yet if the same man with the exact same physical appearance had what I call emotional masculinity, then she would naturally feel sexually attracted to him right now. It would happen instantly. And by the way, if you enjoyed this video and you want to get an exclusive lesson on humor that includes 54 examples of what to say to make a woman feel sexually and romantically attracted to you, then head over to masterattraction.com. At Master Attraction, I teach you all of the traits that make women feel sexually and romantically attracted to you. And when you are learning from the lessons, you also get access to the Master Attraction community. I only recently opened Master Attraction, and here's what members are saying already. 2 of the members of the MAC went out to meet women together, and this member picked up a cute blonde, and it was the first girl that he'd ever picked up at a bar. Another member went out and used the techniques that he'd been learning just in the first month of the lessons that you'll get, and he kissed 6 girls in one night and got 3 phone numbers. Another couple of members met up and had all sorts of fun with girls all day. All sorts of things were going on there. And 3 other members caught up, and they were approaching non-stop and getting various good results. They were saying they managed to get a phone number, and one of the guys overcame his approach anxiety. Another guy used the technique that I teach in the first lesson on confidence, and it resulted in his yoga instructor really wanting him and him having to basically do nothing but ask her out. And he then hooked up with her that night. And finally, another guy used the technique that I teach in the first lesson on confidence, and he noticed that women were getting closer to him than usual. They were showing him interest and giving him what he called the look. And this is what happens when you use the technique. Women feel magnetically attracted to you, and it's taught in the first lesson on confidence at Master Attraction. Alternatively, if you want to continue learning from me on YouTube right now, watch one of the videos on the screen. See you in the next video.